Welcome back to another episode of the Shoecast show. If this is your first time listening, thank you for tuning in. This is a podcast where we interview people and talk everything related to shoes. My name is Chase, and I'm here, as always, with my co-host today, Landon. And today we are talking to Retro. He is a sneaker influencer, and he makes his own YouTube videos talking about the latest sneaker releases and sneaker reviews. How's it going, Retro?
Man, it's going well. Thank you all for having me on here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on here. So before we get started, we just want to congratulate you on hitting 10,000 subscribers. That's very cool. You know, we're on our way to not 10,000. We're on our way to 1,000, but we're seeing what we can do. But that's really cool that you're to see you come up like that. Man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
But
Thank you very much.
So yeah, jumping right into it. Where did your name, DaRetroWizKid, come from? Where'd that kind of come from?
That's a funny one. So Wiz, my nickname, I got given the nickname like it's been about 10 years ago. Everybody used to call me G Wiz. And when my partner Twin asked me, he was like, "Hey bro, you should jump on YouTube and do videos on sneakers because I've been collecting shoes for a long time."
Right.
And I was always watching sneaker YouTube, and he was like, "Man, you can do it yourself." I was like, all right. I was like, man, I ain't got a name though. And I just sat around and I thought, and you know, because at the time I was only collecting retros, I never really, I liked other shoes, but I more so focused on just collecting the Jordan retros. And
Right.
then the name Kid, you know, like when you see like old movies and stuff, they'd be like, "What's good, kid?" and stuff like that. And like in the like old time movies,
yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
being hip in the street. So then I just took it and I was just like DaRetroWizKid.
Well, there you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So, you know, you call yourself the Shoeologist instead of like a sneakerhead. You know, is there a reason why you came up with that term? I just never heard of that term before.
So it was just different. You know, you
Yeah.
hear about people saying, "Hey, I'm a sneakerhead," you know, sneaker enthusiast. I've always been into like all different brands. So but like I said, I first started collecting mainly just retro. So after a while, I was just like, man, I know so much about shoes. I'm gonna just call myself the Shoeologist.
There you
That's
go.
awesome, man. I've never heard of that. I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. I gotta ask him a question on that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So you kind of mentioned, you know, you're into retros. How did you kind of first get into sneakers in general? Just like when did that flip kind of switch? Because I know for me, I started collecting shoes whenever I was, you know, early in my college to like kind of late high school. But when did that switch kind of flip for you where you're like, you know, everyone kind of has their passion, like all cool shoes, cool watches, cool different this and that. So when did it become sneakers for you?
So I know everybody always says this, but I've always been like into shoes. I guess my sister, she's 5 years older than me, so growing up, she had a lot of the shoes that, you know, bigger sizes. Some of the bigger shoes come out in bigger sizes, and my sister would have them. And at me being 5 years younger, she keep them clean, and then like I jump into her shoes. As I got older, my foot started growing, and I was all like, man, she must have been like a senior in high school, and I was in middle school. And she had these pair of Chicago Reeboks. It was like a city pack.
Ooh.
And it had like the city on the bottom of the shoe with an icy bottom. And then like you had like the city of Chicago on the side of it. And it said Chicago. And I want to say that would probably be like the first shoe that like changed me. And I was like, man, I got to keep these clean. I got to do this. I got to do that. I mean, my grandma bought me my first pair of Jordans, but that was back in the 90s.
Right.
But I'd definitely say probably like that pair that I got from my sister. And she didn't even know I was wearing them really. So I can't really say I got them from her. I was going in there taking them. Like she'd leave to go to school and I'd just grab them and I'd wear them. But I really started taking care of my shoes probably back around, it was probably like 6th grade going into 7th grade.
Awesome.
That's cool. And it's kind of cool to hear someone talk about, you know, someone with as many Jordan boxes as I see back there, that your shoe that got you started was a Reebok. That's kind of interesting. You don't see that a whole lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So
Reeboks, Prestos.
There you go. There you go.
So you kind of mentioned like, you know, you wanted to start the YouTube channel, but like, was there a specific reason as why you wanted to start filming and start YouTube?
Kind of, but not really, to be honest. I just, you know, I can be talking to my parents or something, or just be talking to anybody in my family, and I'm probably gonna talk to them about something about shoes. And it's like all my partners that, you know, I hang out with and everything, pretty much all of us into sneakers and stuff like that. So instead of just getting their opinion, and with my partner Twin, I probably owe a lot of it to him. He was just like, bruh, you talk about shoes just like everybody else. So why you just don't give it a shot? And I want to say it was 2017 in July. And I made a video, but I never thought nothing of it. Like, I just dropped the video and I never came back to check it.
Right.
And then I made another video and I was just like, again, I never went to go check it. And then like January 2018, I looked on there and I was like, dang, I got like 7,000 views off this video. And after that, I was just like, yo, I'm gonna take it serious and I'm gonna start dropping videos. And at that time I had a knee surgery. I'd had my 3rd knee surgery on my right knee.
Oh, man.
So I was just sitting in the house. I couldn't go nowhere. I wasn't walking nowhere. So I just sit there, drop videos. If I got some shoes that came, I drop them. I just started talking about them. And that's why a lot of people, when I first started out, it was like, hey, why you don't do on feet? I was like, man, I do, but I wear all my shoes. I just can't do it right now because I'm on crutches. And then I went from crutches to a cane. And then that's when I started throwing the shoes on for everyone.
You should have done your own segment like on crutch.
Yeah,
You're gonna have one super clean shoe
nasty.
and one dirty shoe, bro, because you're hopping on one shoe, but the other one's just hanging out. So that could have been nice.
It was pretty bad, man.
I bet.
Try to move around on that first on feet. People probably could tell like I was hurting.
Hey, anything for the views, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So moving on, do you do this full time, or is there other work that you do as well?
Oh no, I'm in the Army, man.
Oh, very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in the military. I'm just I got beard and everything right now because I've been working from home.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'm active duty military, man. This is just something that
Awesome.
I do for fun.
Wow,
That's
thank you for
awesome,
your
man.
service.
Yeah, thank you for your service. That's super cool.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
Wow,
it.
I wasn't expecting that.
No,
Not at all.
we
Yeah.
always ask that because some people do it full time. It's a side time for some people, and some people just do it because they love it. So you meet all kinds of different people.
Right. So for a follow up, after you're done with your service, would you want to continue this and try to go full time as YouTube?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So like right now, I'll keep doing it. I got like 7 years left in the military. I'm keep dropping videos throughout this whole time. Then when I get done, I want to bring more stuff to the channel. I've told people this numerous times. I'm in the shoes. I'm into fashion. So, and I like to travel a lot too. So I like to incorporate daily lifestyle vlogs, throw a couple skits in there, doing a little bit of my funny side with people. And also, I got a lot of friends that they do YouTube too. It's just, not all of us are really like, I can't say known like that. Some of us, some of them, they don't do it like every day.
Yeah.
They might drop a video once every 2 months or something like that. So
yeah, it's a grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome though. So in one of the recent videos, you kind of mentioned that you actually got robbed and they stole like 18 pairs.
Oh yeah.
So what was that? What was that like? And like, have you recovered since then?
So back in 2015, I got robbed. So no, 2014. I'm sorry, it was 14. I came home and my door was open, and I was like, dang, like I came home and the back door, was open. And when I walked in the house, I was like, dang, why is the lamp knocked over? And I got a dog. So I was like, man, maybe the dog knocked it over. But when I looked in the living room, like my PlayStation was gone. You could tell people had ran up in the house and stuff like that. So when I looked out the back door of the house, the gate was open and everything. And in that neighborhood, kids have been taking stuff out the houses, man, stealing PlayStation, stealing all type of weird things, microwaves. It was weird.
Yeah.
And I went upstairs and I looked in the room and I keep my stuff set so I kind of know what's I'll know as soon as I walk in my room what's wrong. So I looked and I was like, dang, they got me for some shoes. But then in my head I was like, dang, man, they took some weird shoes. I was like, maybe they didn't know what they took. They didn't know what was going on. They left a lot of gems in there, but they took 18 pair that was I was like, man, it had to be a couple of kids because you wouldn't be able to move that fast.
Right. Dang, man, that's crazy. But no, that's tough. We actually talked to someone last week who had talked about his store. He owns kind of a sneaker boutique, streetwear store, and it had gotten looted.
Yeah, True North.
A little bit. True North, yeah, bro. Yeah, we're gonna hit that later on. But that's funny you say that because I lived with him freshman year. We played baseball together in in college, that just reminded me that whenever we lived together, I got my PlayStation and a few other things stolen out of our apartment.
Same thing. Back door was open a little bit. We came home. We're like, what's going on?
It's crazy because they did such an organized job with it to the point to where I didn't notice that things were gone. Because we played baseball, so it's not like I had a ton of time to play video games and stuff. I think it even took a day that I was like, went to play PlayStation my next day. I'm like, where's it at? I don't even know where my PlayStation's at. And then I went up and checked. I'm like, I was missing a few watches. And I was like, okay, someone came and got something from me. But they did such an organized job that I didn't even see it, man. It was crazy. That's tough, though.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's funny. They stole some black Air Force Ones. I know a lot of people. Like, man, I was like, yeah, they didn't know what they were taking.
So it looks like they were just on their way to hit the next house up after they got those Air Force Ones, right? That's crazy. That's so funny, man. That's tough though. But so we'll move it back into sneakers in a more positive light. What was one of the more memorable moments since being involved with sneakers for you? What's some cool things that you've been able to experience?
I met a lot of cool people throughout doing YouTube, and then also just before when I really got big into it. I'd say like 2008, 2009, when I left Korea, I like gave away a lot of shoes getting ready to leave to go to Germany. And then when I got there, one of my partners was just like, bruh, you got a lot of shoes and stuff. But he was like, a lot of them, because I used to club in my shoes and stuff, man. I wasn't really, like, once I was like 18, 19, I wasn't really focused on keeping them clean no more like that. Right. And I was just like, man, I'm just clubbing in them. So I'd buy like one or two of the same shoe, beat one down, and then like have one that was fresh. And then I like, when that one got beat down, and I was just giving them away and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was kind of that little thing. But I'd probably say my grandma, man. My grandma had a pair of Jordan 1 Royals, the OGs that my uncle gave her back in the day. And she probably play a big role in me collecting shoes to this day. You know, she's not alive anymore, but my mom was a Chicago Bulls cheerleader. So she used to cheer for the Bulls. Yeah, but my grandma, she got me my first pair of Jordans, and then when my grandma passed away, I went looking for those Royal ones because I'd always told everybody I wanted them, but for some reason, I think somebody sold them in my family. They just didn't say nothing.
Probably,
yeah.
Wow.
They would have made a pretty penny off them. I know that.
That's crazy though. So now it's time for a new segment that we do. It's called 2 Cents. This is where we talk about like current events and shoes. And recently, CNN just released an article actually today about DSW and Hy-Vee having a collaboration. The shoe retailer DSW, which has more than 500 stores nationwide, is opening up a 1,200 square foot mini shop inside the regional grocery store chain. Retro. So what are your 2 cents about buying shoes while shopping for groceries?
Man, I think it's dope.
You think it's dope?
It's crazy.
I can't.
Do you know what Hy-Vee is? Do you know what Hy-Vee is? It's kind of like a smaller brand Walmart. I actually used to work at a Hy-Vee, and they have it in Missouri.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Walmart or like where are you from? Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Georgia.
So you know what Publix
Texas,
is or stuff like that. It's just kind of like a small, like an Aldi's, a Hy-Vee,
Kroger.
Stuff like that. So it's just a little 1,200 square foot mini shop inside of these grocery stores. I guess.
I just couldn't imagine just one aisle you're buying bread, the other aisle you're buying
breads.
You're buying breads.
Breads.
I just can't. I don't know. I just don't know. You'd be dropping like $1,100 at the grocery store and coming out with a couple pairs.
I think it's a good marketing strategy for sure. Yeah. Like, say you go to the store with your girl or your mom and dad or just your partners, and like they like, hey, I'm about to run over here to this aisle real quick to go grab some food, and you're like, yo, I'm gonna go see what they just dropped over here, what they got in stock. So I mean, I think it's a good way to get people. I mean, when they're out there and they're out and about, you're like, dang, I can go here, grab what I need to grab, and at the same time get a nice little look at some sneakers. Did they say like they're gonna be dropping like some exclusive sneakers, or is it gonna be like?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen DSW drop anything like hype, but I know they have like running shoes and they have Nike and Adidas stuff. But yeah, that'd be kind of crazy. They start dropping hype stuff.
I just imagine like the grocery store opens at like 7 a.m. right, and you just got a line of people in the parking lot, and these employers are just hating their life. Like, these guys are about to flood our store, and they don't even want any groceries or anything to do with it. All of them in and out, shoe store, in and out. They're just gone.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That's awesome.
That'd be super funny though.
So, moving on. So, how has your YouTube journey been? From 3 years ago, you started reviewing I think your very first video is reviewing the Air Jordan 1 Quai 54s. And now you're hitting 10,000 followers. Tell us a little bit about that journey and, how was it?
So I would say that because I did like a huge gap difference from dropping that first video.
Yeah.
I kind of consider like my first video, that's my first one, but like I feel like in 2018 at the top of January is when I kind of like really started taking it seriously. It's been ups and downs. Me personally, sometimes I feel like some of my videos don't get the views that I think that they're gonna get, but it's a ton of people, out here doing sneakers. I definitely can say that I've transformed the channel as far as the quality. I used to record off my phone. Then my bro Tops World, he does sneaker YouTube as well. He actually sent me a G7X camera.
Wow.
And then from there I started shooting with a camera. And then earlier on this year, at the top of the year, around about January time frame, I went and bought me a 4K camera. And ever since then, it's just like I look back at my other videos and I'm like, dang, man, I needed this quality the whole time.
Yeah, it's tough though.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's tough because
and I think just with social media, it's one of those things, especially like on YouTube and just, Instagram, Twitter, that if you're not posting like constantly, then I don't know. I there's no maybe specific, facts on this, but they're not really going to promote you as much if you're just kind of throwing something out there every once in a while, as opposed to someone who's posting every other day or every day or 2 times or 3 times a week. But that's just that's my theory, I guess. I'm sure there's it holds a little bit of water, maybe not all of it, but
yeah, that's crazy because like my first year on YouTube, I like literally posted every day, and I gained more subs over the last year than I did posting every day. That junk's crazy, man.
So it doesn't make any sense, and that's the worst because we put out like a few like sneaker reviews like on shoes. We do some like performance reviews on different basketball shoes and stuff, and like every once in a while like, oh, this is a super hype shoe, I can't wait to review this, and we put it out, it gets like 85 views, and then we sit back and we look at this random like lifestyle shoe that we put out that was like 6 minutes long, got like 5,000 views. We're just like, that doesn't make any sense. Why is one of this shoe that we put 4 hours into of our time on editing and videos and stuff like that, and it gets 80 views, and then this one we're like, oh, hey, let's just throw this together real quick, 5,000 views. Like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you just have to be able to
like
do
that, though,
right?
Man, it is like that. I dropped a video and I was expecting it just to get a couple views. That junk did like 20,000 over last month.
That's the best feeling.
I know, right?
Now you're just confused.
Now you just got to put something out there and just almost force yourself to not look at it, because you're just going to be tracking it like, why has it only gotten 1 view in the last hour? Shouldn't it have gotten at least 10? Like, nah, you got to put it in. You got to leave it, give it some time to sit. But so we'll kick it back into shoes now. So is there a specific collaboration, that you would like to see on a shoe brand or a shoe model? Because there's so many going on right now. I know that the Fragment 3s just dropped. You see all kinds of different dunk collabs going on. Like, is there a certain brand you would like to see collab, or even just a favorite one of recent that you've seen? That's a tough question, right?
That's a tough question for brands, because it seemed like every brand done doggone did something. Like,
right,
they're dibbling, as far as even with like celebrities dabbling into.
Oh yeah, like the Travis Scotts and Nike, and you got Rihanna and Puma, Beyonce, Adidas, all that stuff going on right now. It's crazy right now for shoes. I feel like there's almost a new collab to go for every single week.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
And I'm over here trying to think like who would I want to really see? Like, I would probably say, man, I would have liked to see that Grateful Dead collab that they did with the SB Dunks. I would have wanted to see that on some retro ones.
Oh yeah,
Whoa,
no,
I'm sure
dude,
they
those
got.
were crazy.
I'm sure they have something coming.
That would be cool because they got the Grateful Dead Crocs and so they're collabing on Crocs now. You got Kentucky Fried Chicken getting their own Crocs.
Getting their own Crocs too.
Dude, I'm telling you, anyone and everyone's collabing right now. We actually hit on a bunch of, or not a bunch, but a couple pairs of the Post Malone, the Post Malone Crocs.
Hey, them posties fire.
Hey, they really. We actually got the yellow ones a few years ago. Whenever they came out, and those were real
those
nice.
the best ones.
Yeah,
you like those ones? Yeah,
those were pretty cool.
Those were nice. I like the blue and the black ones that just came out, but like those yellow ones, I think it was also because it was kind of the first time it actually really ever hit. So there's always something about that first shoe, that first collab.
Always.
I don't even know if you can call Croc a shoe. It's just I don't know what it is, but. It is whatever it is, but yeah, no, there's some cool collabs going on right now. Almost too hard to pick from them all.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think I'd have to go with the Grateful. I would have wanted to see those Grateful Deads.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine little furry ones.
Those would be super cool.
Yeah, but I kind of noticed when I was writing these questions for this interview, I just saw in the background of your videos, what's with the wrestling belts? Are those wrestling belts or what are those behind you?
Yeah, they're wrestling belts, man. So growing up, I was real big into WCW, and then I moved over to WWF, of course, before they switched it all over to like WWE and all of that stuff. So like growing up, I was big into like the NWO. You know what I'm saying? Rey Mysterio Jr.,
right?
Sting, and then when everybody moved over to WCW, WCW moved over to WWF. That Big Eagle. That's what that belt is right there. That's the old classic Big Eagle belt. It actually says WWF on that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And then Goldberg had the classic World Championship belt, and both those belts, I don't know if y'all like big into wrestling or anything, but Chris Jericho was like the first undisputed champion, and they got both the belts. So I've always wanted both those belts. Right. I just thought that jump was so cool to see him. Like, he had 2 big championship belts. I was like, yo, that's crazy. So it took me a long time to buy them though, because like every time I'd be like, I'm gonna buy it. Well, when I started doing YouTube, I was like, yo, it would be a dope prop for me to have in my background. And I was all like, man, undisputed sneaker champ.
I like that. That's cool.
That's awesome.
That's very cool. All right, so we're actually going to jump back into something we almost touched on earlier. But yeah, we actually, like we said, we just interviewed Eddie from True North. So how did you guys kind of meet? We know that obviously there's some type of connection there. So, how do you know Eddie from True North?
So, Rep Milwaukee 4on4, he's actually a sneaker YouTuber as well. And we're all out here in San Antonio. I live in San Antonio.
Okay.
So
okay.
I went up there the first time with Rep, and then from there just built a relationship with him. They had a sneaker event that they hosted, and it's Big Eddie and Little Eddie. I sold Little Eddie like a bunch of my double ups because I was like, man, we wore the same shoe size, and he was like, I'm gonna keep them. They were gonna go to his personal collection, and I was working on my car, and I was like, yo, I'm tired of like digging in my savings and doing all this stuff. And I had like a bunch of double ups, man, and I just, I just sit on them. And normally I look to try to find like a nice little trade in them, but I sold them to him so I could work on my car and everything. And then ever since then, we just been rocking together. Like if I'm looking for something, I'll hit them up and I'll be like, hey, do y'all have these? Sometimes they'll let us come up there, shoot a little video of some sneakers if they get them early.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
So yeah, they're pretty dope, man. I mess with them heavy, man.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
No,
man.
yeah,
that's
awesome interview. I wondered because I'm like, yeah, it's San Antonio. That all makes sense now because that's kind of where his store is located at too. He's cool too. He tells us he's got some of the Spurs players that come by and check out his store every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty dope. Yeah. That's pretty dope for sure.
They got the clothing. When I was there last time when I went there, I shot a video. It's probably been like a little bit over a month or so. I went up there and I got some of DeMar DeRozan's clothing from out of there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he showed us some that he had with DeMar. He had some with like Nate Robinson and
my partner The Vintage grabbed the Nate Robinson gear.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
So, how have sneakers transitioned over the years, and what's your prediction for sneakers in the future?
Oh man, So
That's deep.
2012, man, 2012. I feel like that was like one of the best years. That's one of the best eras since I've been doing sneakers, and I've been doing sneakers for over a decade now. And it's like 2012. It was just something about it, man. They brought back a lot of gems, man. You had the playoff 12s that came out, Obsidian 12s. Taxis came out in 2013, 2012, 2013, but the sneakers that were dropping, man, Olympic 6s, Olympic 7s, back then, that's when like the KDs were hot,
Right.
LeBrons was still hot, man. You know what I'm saying? Kobe's were still jumping stupid hard, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Kobe.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like the What the series was out back then. And now they trying to, it's like everything going in full circle. Now they trying to bring back the same vibes. I feel like 2020 from now, like I think this year has probably been one of the craziest years, just because it's like it feels like 2012 all over again.
Yeah.
I tell people that like things just selling out, stuff that you think gonna sit is not sitting, because for a while we went through a period where sneakers weren't selling out. You know what I'm saying? You go in the store and you can catch them like 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then probably even catch them in an outlet like the last 2 years before this year. But
Exactly.
man, it's been crazy. I think it's just going in full circle, and now they seem like they're trying to bring back, a lot of sneakers that a lot of people wanted, like not OG colorways when it comes to the retros. And I mean, Kanye even talking about Kanye start bringing back shoes, retro in his shoes, I guess you could call it, you know what I'm saying? Or as he says, re-releasing.
Right.
But we're supposed to get some of those this
December, right?
Yeah.
Breads,
Yeah.
Breads, some
that'll
zebras,
be crazy. That's
zebras
gonna
in
be-
Europe. Yeah, I could
So
definitely
it's
see
just
that.
like history's repeating itself, man.
That's cool to see, because especially for the people, if after a shoe sits for that long, right, it's gonna be just the price is gonna continue to climb and climb. Like that shoe, if you get a shoe for 200 and it's reselling for $5, but if it takes 5 or 6 years from there, that shoe's gonna be at least $1,000, maybe $2, maybe
Easy.
$3, right? So it's like you kind of need to put it back out there, because you'll still, all those people that get those shoes again, you'll be able to resell them, but they're going to have to bring the price back down just to
Always
make it
drop.
a little more reasonable, because we resell shoes, but there is a certain aspect to like, it doesn't feel super right to sometimes charge someone like a couple months worth of rent for a pair of shoes and stuff like that. It's like everyone's got to pay money. Everyone's got to keep the lights on. We understand both sides to that argument, but no, it's kind of good to get that shoe back out there, especially if they modify it and make it a little bit better, like for comfort reasons, because obviously comfort's improving year to year. So,
oh yeah, most definitely. I think is like adding on to that, like the next couple years. I say we got a saying like every December a new sneakerhead comes. Like you get a new sneakerhead every December, because that's when them 11s drop. So a lot of kids, they ask their parents, and there's some that they only want that 11 every year. So then after that, sometimes it kicks them into full drive, and they're like, yo, this coming out, I'm gonna grab this too, then I'm gonna grab this too, and I'm gonna try to grab this too. And then after that, next thing you know, 2-3 years down the line, they got over 100 pairs of shoes, and they, it's like sneakers are crack. But it's like,
that's what
it ain't gonna kill you.
That's what I'm saying. People always ask me like, yo, why you have so many, like you spend that much money on shoes? I'm like, hey man, I could be addicted to way worse.
Yeah,
I could be addicted to way
totally
worse.
True.
So
it ain't hurting nobody.
That's right, except my bank account, but we'll leave that be. We'll leave that alone.
So, what do you like to do in your free time besides YouTube and sneakers?
I kick it with the fam. I like to travel. Haven't been doing much travel.
Not many people have. Yeah.
I play games. I play the game quite a bit. I've streamed on my channel a couple times. I was trying to figure out how to do the whole Twitch thing,
right?
But I game a lot on my free time. I read magazines every now and then, read a lot of sneaker articles and stuff. I've read a couple books in the last 6 months since I've been home. So I just chill, man. I go to the gym a lot, like try to hit the gym at least for like 2 to 3 hours a day. Even if I have to go to work when I get off, or either throughout the day, I try to fit it all in. Like I want to eat lunch and I just eat back in my office, and I just go to the gym during that hour and a half right there too. So yeah, I don't really do too much. I've been working on my car.
There you go.
Which has been really like making me mad. Because man, I put my car inside. Actually, you guys, I'm telling you guys this first. I ain't told nobody. The only people that know is my. They know that I'm working on my car on my channel, but they're probably like, man, where is it at? I put my car in the shop back in like end of May, like the first week of June.
Right.
And man, I've had some hiccups coming through. They fired the guy that was working on it at the spot.
No.
And I mean, it's not like it's like a mom and pop shop. Like it's a bit. I don't know. Y'all got an Amco where y'all live?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, Amco's big. It's everywhere. So it's like, man, they've been working on my car, and like they'll be like, hey, this piece don't fit. Then I'm working with Jegs, and I'm like I bought it from you guys because this is what you guys told me. Like y'all sent me all the stuff for the engine and the transmission to put it in there, new AC and everything. And I'm having all these hiccups. So that's probably been right now, that and playing games and just sending stuff back and having to reorder stuff. I've been going through this since like May. So I went up there on Saturday to pick up the last part that I'm going to send back. And I just went on ahead. I ordered the other piece. I was like, yo, just send it to me and give me the money back. Just put it back in my debit card or whatever, whenever you guys get it.
Yeah, man.
Dang,
that's always tough, man. Car headaches are the worst.
Nah, that's so annoying. But
and it's my first build. It's my first build.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you know, you're going to remember this one. You're definitely going to remember
They're
it.
making sure you're going to remember it, man. But we're winding it down here. So how many pairs would you say that you have in your sneaker collection right now? And what's your ideal collection kind of look like? Would you say quality, quantity? What do you kind of go for with your sneaker collection?
So, all right. So the first part, how many shoes I have? I'll be honest with you. When I got to 400, when I was counting, I just stopped. I was like, yo, I got over 400. So it was like, it's never been to me though, like how many shoes do I have or anything. I don't really think that really matters, to be honest, like how many shoes somebody got, because I mean it just doesn't matter to me. Like anybody, when I say shoeologist, going back to that, anybody can be a shoeologist, you know what I'm saying? That's just like anybody can have a sneaker dungeon. And I tell people that all the time. They was like, yo, you know, I want a sneaker dungeon like yours. Now you got a sneaker dungeon, whatever you like, man. Like to me, hype sneakers, they didn't exist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those, like the Travis Scotts and all that, we weren't hearing about stuff like that back in like 2010, 11, and even before that. You know, you might catch somebody getting a dope collab, but now it's like I watch some of the sneaker battles that people do and stuff, and it's like somebody will pull out a Travis one and somebody will pull out like a bread one, and they'll be like, oh, the Travis is one. And I'm like, for me, I'm all about OG stuff. Like those sneakers, when I really got into the Jordans and stuff, I was like, yo, I want every OG colorway, no matter what it is. From 1 through 14, I gotta have the OGs. And then for like 15, 16 and up, all the way to 23, I was just like, yo, at least one of those original colorways, at least one of them. Because it's a little bit harder to wear some of the higher numbers. But it's like, man, I wish that things would go back and they would make things a little bit the way that they used to be. But when it comes to the hype sneakers, I like them. I go after them too, you know. But the crazy thing is, man, like I tell people, and a lot of people probably be like, dang, everything I get 9 times out of 10, I pay retail for it. So when I miss out on a shoe, it's hard for me to want to go drop like $1,000. I can get 5-6 shoe releases off of that, man.
Exactly.
So I pass on them unless I get like a really good deal where somebody will show some love and bless me with like a nice price.
That makes total sense. But so kind of a second part to that question is, you know, what's your all-time grail? Like, what's your all-time favorite shoe, and do you currently own it right now?
Oh yeah, Royal Ones, man.
There you
Royal
go.
Ones.
So that's the one.
Always be my number one sneaker. That's my go-to. I got a pair. It's crazy. I sold Eddie my double up I think that was 2017 when they came out. I gave Eddie my double up. I still haven't worn my 2017 pair. I'm a big fan of my 2013 pair. I like the quality on those. A lot of people like that tumbled leather and everything. But in 2013, when they came out, I was stupid lucky to get a pair. I was living Tennessee at the time, man, like in Clarksville area.
Okay.
And they only got 11 pairs of those shoes out there, man. And I got a pair. And back then the shoe was like 120, 130. It's probably still in the box, but the shoe was like 120, 130 or something like that. Retro ones done went all the way up to 170.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's just crazy. You look at it when they did that remastered thing, and they started bringing like the quality right after those shattered backboards came out. Man, I think that's what like really put people into the ones real heavy. And mids coming back real heavy too, man.
They are now. They're releasing these Chicago colorways of them. Yeah. They're doing everything they can to not give you the retro, to give you that OG colorway. They're doing black toe or white heel or something.
And I've been buying them too. Like, I think they dope. I think they dope.
Yeah, it is cool.
I feel you.
So for our final question of the podcast, if you could choose, who should we have on next?
Oh man, you got a lot of people. You got a lot of people that you could choose from, man. That's a hard question.
Yeah,
you want me just like
it's normally normally we just ask for someone that's either, you know, that you want to hear from or that has kind of helped you along your way with YouTube that you think would kind of want to share their story too, because that's kind of all we do. We just kind of let people talk about who they are, what they do, why people should check out their channel and stuff like that.
I'd probably say the Vintage, man.
The Vintage,
yeah,
for sure.
The Vintage World, we live right around the corner from each other.
All right.
I met him. He was the first person that I actually met that did sneaker YouTube, man. Like we met back in Germany when he moved to Germany, and it's crazy. Like I didn't even know him or nothing. I just seen one of his videos, and it said he was coming to Germany, and I was like, "Yo, bro, where you going?" Because he's in the military too, and we got to chopping it up. He was like, "Yo, I'm coming right here." I was like, "Yo, I help you out, man." So like the day that he got there, man, we just linked up, and then from there, you know, rest is history. We lived literally right around the corner from each other in Germany, and now we live literally right around the corner from each other out here in San Antonio.
Wow, small world, man.
That's
small
crazy.
World.
That's super cool, man. Hey, well, that's actually going to wrap it up for this episode. But if you like this episode, please feel free to show your support by liking, following, subscribing to whichever platform that you're listening to. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you next episode. Peace.